Okay, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. Great to have you all here. This is a topic I'm very passionate about. Uh, on my journey of creating wealth, there's two really big pieces there's three really. There's your relationship, of course. There's your ability to put it to work. But the big overlooked piece and the piece when people come work with me that I end up spending a lot of time on is how you manage your money. It is huge. It is huge to your ability to live a life you love. It's huge to your ability to create that freedom you desire and have that money fully support you. So money can feel like an absolute mess sometimes, and we're going to share with you today what to do about it. And I think this is a huge conversation to say, and I'm going to open with this is one things I always tell my people, and you've probably heard it before, you've probably read it on my post, but life's messy, money's messy, and be okay with that. And I think that was a huge relief for me when I finally got that and the people I work with. So like most people are sitting around waiting for perfection before they live, before they do the activities that they know they should be doing to create the wealth and freedom, right? So notice if you're operating from there. Like sometimes money just feels messy, right? As you're working everything out. Maybe you're starting a business, maybe you've established a business, not doing as well this year as it did last year. Maybe you're in a job, maybe you're thinking of switching career. Like maybe you're pregnant, maybe you're building a house. Like we all are going through life events all the time, and money is so interweaving in our life. You hear things like money is not important, money is important, money puts food on the table, a roof over your head. Of course, it's important, right? It allows you the freedom to do the things that light you up and all the things. So, of course, we take it seriously, and I really shut my brain off when people say that. So, um, and what the key secret is how we direct it, right? This was a big aha for me. A lot of people are hyper focused on what's coming in, what's coming in, what's coming in, what's coming in. They're waiting to be at a certain level and their money to be in and not be in debt and all the things. And um and they quietly put off the most fundamental pieces you got to be doing with your money to create that wealth and freedom and live a life you love. Um, and it can always feel like there's never enough. So a lot of people operate, there's never enough. I need to have more to do all the things I want to do. Da 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 da. So I'm gonna call you out on all that today. Like things can be coming up with you around money. So if you've been telling yourself, right, notice if you do this, I'll sort my money out when things feel better. Let me know if you do that. When more money comes in, when the timing feels right. Okay, this is BS stories. So humans are um we're emotional creatures. We're 100% psychology, right? And we create stories all the time. And you have to notice what stories you're creating about your life and whether they're supporting you or taking you out. Okay? Um, and those stories um stop you from moving forward with money. But what money actually loves is clarity and leadership, right? So when you operate from clarity and leadership and do the right things with your money, even though it feels messy, you're going to be in a totally different place with money. So we're going to have a really honest conversation about money today. I know there's guys here as well, and men are more than welcome to come work with me, even though I talk to women. I don't know, I just niche that way, and I have sort of questioned it lately. But anyway, so you're doing the right things with your money, but you should be doing the right things with your money. So this is for you. If you know you should be doing the right things with your money, but you keep putting it off. Okay? No matter what comes in, go straight back out. Let me know if you relate to any of this. Or you have this kind of constant low tension with money. It always feels like you're never getting ahead. Let me know if you relate to any of this. You might be embarrassed to show people your bank account. Okay, don't worry, it'll be fine. Hi, Ramona. You're waiting until your income is higher. Your debt is less, your life is more organized before you get financially ahead. Let me know if you're operating this way, if you relate to this. And in fact, I should probably spotlight myself. Hold on. Would you like me spotlighted or shall I stay in gallery? Which is better? There you go. Okay. And that's exhausting. It gets really, really tiring that. And I want you to say this to yourself, right? You're not bad with money. You just don't have a system, right? A system with your money changes everything because you're giving your money direction. And without a system, money has no direction and it just disappears. Somebody frees up money and it's gone to something else, right? Notice when this has happened in your life, okay? It's because there's no direction, there's no system and what you're prioritizing, okay? And the reality for women, but men are experiencing this too. Like women live longer than men. Women are typically in lower paid jobs. The gender gap is still real. Women take time off for kids, family, things like that. So we've more stuff coming at us financially. Um, but we need to work smart with our money and we need to start sooner's always better than later. Um, and that's why we're here today. Hi, Tagita, great to have you here. And the big point I want to talk about first is, and let me know if you relate to this. Type in the chat. I'd love if we get conversations going on chat. It's always the best. Oh, Luke, you have to go back in 20 minutes. Luke, I will send you the replay. You'll be good. Okay. Great to have you here, by the way. Um, the waiting game. Let me know if you relate to this. This is the most common reason you never get ahead financially. And it's costing you every single day. I'll sort my money when things feel better. I know Luke, we chatted about this. I remember you were sharing on the last masterclass. So notice if you do this, if you're operating from when my money's in a better place, people who get ahead in life, they think a little bit illogically. And what I mean by that is um if you want uh to live a certain way, when you trust you and you trust money, the money always shows up. Okay. So some people are operating, this is a little bit off what I'm sharing here, but I think it's huge to hear as well, is your money in life. If you look at your money right now, you look at your bank account, it is a reflection of what's going on the inside. And when you switch the inside, the outside changes. So if you're in the waiting game with money, that is something going on in the inside that's preventing you from moving forward and doing the right activities with the money to create the wealth. And anybody who's created wealth didn't start in perfect circumstances. In fact, their non-perfect circumstances was the motivator to change things, usually. Okay. Pain is more of a driver than desire. Okay. So if you're waiting till I clear the debt, till I have till I figure out income, till I am in a better place with my money, you're the one, I'm gonna use foul language right now. You're the one fucking yourself, nobody else. Nobody else is doing that, right? That story you're telling yourself. I don't care if you tell me you're in six figures of debt or whatever. If you start doing the right things with money, that person will be in a different place than somebody who's sitting in their stuff, sitting in their shit, right? Okay. Um, remember I'm Irish, we curse all the time. This is the most common reason, like people do not get ahead financially, and it costs you every single day. Money works to what you prioritize, the clarity you give it, and the leadership you give it, and that all comes from who you're being. It's always be, do, have, result. Okay? So how you show up in your character with yourself and with money shifts how the money shows up in your life. Okay? And you're the one deciding that things are further away by not doing the activities and moving forward with the money and being in the right spaces and places to shift the things with money. So we don't wait for perfection. Perfection comes by showing up differently and doing the right things with our money. You always start from where you are, what you got. And we've because by moving forward, do you know the questions to ask and how to figure it out and how to change your circumstances? Okay. Even when income feels shaky, they start. Even when things are not perfectly organized, even when you're starting small, you're further ahead than everybody else that's doing absolutely nothing about it and sitting in their stuff. Okay. Staying in chaos is actually costing you. Staying in the waiting game will cost you over and over again. Another year of money going out as fast as it comes in because it has absolutely no direction. I've seen it all the time. Money comes in, money goes out, right? I remember having a boyfriend one time. It didn't matter if he made, I remember at the time he was a lorry driver, he was making quite good money. I think he made 1,000 a month, and then another week maybe he made 600 sorry, a week. And it didn't matter how much came in before that Thursday, it was gone. And um, most people will operate this way, even when they bring in more money. And actually, this is huge to talk to from working with people is people believe more money solves a problem, but actually, if your behavior has been like when you're bringing in, say, 2,000 a month and then you're bringing in 200,000 a month, your behavior is your behavior. And your behavior does not change despite increasing the income. You just find a more expensive house and more expensive car. Now, I'm not talking about limiting your life and restricting yourself, but if you're overspending with the amount you have now, money's a multiplier, so you still overspend unless you're looking at this piece. Because so much of money is behavior, right? We're either in three habits with money. We're either breaking even, we are in our overspend, or we've wealthy habits with money. And what money management gives you is wealthy habits with money. And when you have wealthy habits with money, you will create the wealth you desire. And so many people operate from they think they need a lot to create the wealth, but it's actually those fundamental things you do behind closed doors when nobody's watching is what I have a client right now from Australia, and I'll talk to her a little bit in a minute, but one of the things that was really fascinating to her is her mother's 92. She's at home taking care of her mother, and she also brings in an income from home. And what really fascinated her was her mother always put money on the side and she paid herself first before everybody else. Like the older generation had this down. Like it's so interesting because people think there's some secret, but the fundamentals are still huge today. Um, Joyce, I'm inspired to create a new system for my expected money for my book sales. Love it. And I love that it's royalties. I love it. Exciting in July. Oh my God. In fact, Joyce, I'm going to get you to introduce me to the lady that helped you with the book, by the way. I think you did before. Have put such a focus on eliminating debt. Truth is, each month I've been withering down the debt. Yeah, we'll talk to that a little bit too. So, when you get your financial house in order, it's balancing clearing the debt with doing the right activities with the money. Because people who are in debt have a habit of being in debt. And that's why the emotional piece is huge as well. Because when the emotional piece shifts, you will no longer show up that way and you'll make different decisions with money. Um, so another year goes by when you're sitting in the chaos, another year goes by and you're still sitting sitting there doing the same things with money as your life's getting more expensive. The value of money is very different now than it was 4 or 5 years ago. People are feeling it right now because the value of money is not the same as it was. Inflation, all the things, right? Carrying debt longer than you need to because you've no strategy. You just monthly minimums and guilt, and people are putting more towards their debt and leaving themselves very restricted and wondering why they're not getting ahead financially. Okay. They're leaking money quietly everywhere. I'm working with a couple right now, and they're leaking money everywhere. They just don't even know where the money's going. It's amazing to me because your money, you know, and the biggest cost is the mental load you carry with all of that. Okay. The constant background noise of I need to sort this out. And that noise takes up space, it takes up your energy, it takes your joy. Um, and that energy should be going towards building the life you love and the freedom you actually want. You cannot build wealth on shaky foundations. You have to stabilize first. And this is exactly why I created Get Your Financial House in Order. So this doesn't have to be your thing anymore that takes you out in life. Okay? But more on that, we'll talk about more on that later. Una, I'm going to share, when Una came to me, when we got start talking, she would not like, I love, it lights me up when people's lives change in my world, right? When Una came to me, she was on Social Security in the UK, uh, divorced, maybe not divorced, separated, maybe divorced. Anyway, in some entanglement with her ex, right? Where they were living separately for quite a few years. She had the kids. She was paying for the car. She was paying the mortgage on the house. And single mom, two kids, and in a complete financial entanglement. Okay. Now, that lady, when she came to me, you would not have said to me that somebody on Social Security, because they earn very little, would be able to change their circumstances with money. And that is why your current circumstances is not the reason why you can't get ahead with money. Okay. So her circumstances were not ideal to come work with somebody who helps you build wealth and create financial freedom, right? So we we got talking, and over the course of a couple of months, and then she come join me on the academy. We're not talking about that today. Um, she the first thing I brought to her attention is how entangled she was with her ex. And I'm like, you need to untangle because that's taking your money, right? And it's taking her life and her joy and consuming her and all the things. And within that, and if you met Una, I do have a recording of Una and I'll bring her on a call sometime. If you met Una and you talked to her, she would never say in a year's time she would be in a different place with money. In fact, it was less than a year, it was 9 months' time. She was in a different place with money. Because here's what happened. She took her power back and said, I'm no longer paying the mortgage, I'm no longer paying for the car, da 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 da. They made an agreement, all very amicable, that they would sell the house. And now she has 1,000 emergency, 15,000 cash safety net, clear 25,000 of debt, has 23,000 invested, all because she thought about getting her financial house in order. And that's the power of your story. Because her story was, I'm a single mom on when I met her. And I opened her mind, opened her mind, opened her mind, opened her mind. I said, you can get your financial house in order, you can get investing. And then when we work together, because people always come to me with their limited mind, and we found other ways she had money that she could put to work. And that's why getting your financial house in order and looking at how you're showing up is so huge to this. Okay. This is what happens when you stop waiting and start. I don't care what your circumstances or how you show up or come to me. I guarantee you there's you can change it. And it starts with um energizing that that's a possibility. Okay. Money needs a system. Big breakthrough for me. Wealth is created when you systemize how you show up with the money. Okay. When your money has a system, everything changes because so much of money is about your behavior with it. Okay. It removes the feeling of money always being all over the place. What creates freedom is structure and boundaries with money. Creates consistency and stability. Make sure everything's paid for, taken care of, so you feel free. A lot of people come to me and they say, I don't want to have to worry about money anymore, Lorna. Let me know if you relate to this. I don't have to worry about money anymore. Um, let your nervous system chill out because you can see clearly when you have stability with money, it allows you to open up and to dream of possibilities and start planning of, like Joyce is talking about her royalties. When royalties come in, I want to do the right things with the money so it can fully support me. Okay. Joyce can start thinking about, well, what does a wealthy life look like to me? Right? This is a huge question to ask yourself. What does a wealthy life, like, what do I want? What does a wealthy life look like for me? Because you want to be making your decisions from where you're going, not from where you are today. Um, what was I going to say? Um, it gives you the confidence that your money's fully supporting you. Like when you, what I love about teaching people around money is who you become in the process. Confident in your leadership, in your power, feeling good about yourself, knowing you can handle any situation. Like that's huge. It's not even about the tangible, it's about who you get to be, like that you get to operate from joy, you get to go on that holiday you say you want to do twice a year. All the things, right? Um, when your money is stable, it sets the foundation for the investing, for building real wealth. So I want you as well. I very much operate from it's not about restricting ourselves, it's about putting a structure in place that makes us feel safe. When your money feels stable, your body feels stable. When you feel safe, you can expand. It's huge. Stabilize first, then you get to expand because you're operating from a different place. Maria, this is the lady with her mum is 92. Very worried, overwhelmed, and anxious about money, always wondering, and made good money. So I see this all the time. People, it doesn't matter what level your income's at. I work with people who've made really good money. But their behavior has them that their financial house is not ideal. And then they're putting off all the things, right? Um, has picked her investment because she has her foundation in place. It's now supporting her. She's working on growing an income. She has a plan in place to be debt free. I might do another sprint on debt free soon because I know a couple of you guys need that. Um, she trusts herself with money now, and that's the huge part. And um, she has more self-belief in herself with money, which is huge to her. What becomes possible when you put a structure in with money? I've stopped, have a drink. I also have to remind myself to slow down. That's feedback I get all the time is you talk too fast. So remind me, guys, because I'm working on it. I forget. You go, I get into my passion. What becomes possible is the ability to live the lifestyle you desire. I know that's lovely words, but it does become possible when you free up emotionally around money, the behaviors with money, that you understand that life's messy, money's messy, and that's okay. But if I do the right things with it, I'll be in a different place. Um, and you start trusting your own ability to bring it in. You trust your own ability to manage it. You trust your own ability to secure it, right? It is a decision, it's direction, and it starts with what you already have. Always. So money comes in, we create the stability, it allows you to expand, it allows you to create the wealth. Claire, again, separate from her husband, divorced. He was the one bringing in all the income. A lot of fear around money. She had also had to support two kids. And yeah, in a great place with money. And I love this is her own words. I have a sense of security and trust in my finances that I never did before. Brought my family away on a holiday, and she paid for it. Like was huge to her. Huge. And the money management is what supported her to do that. Also did investing and all the things. Um, what is from what the conversation we've had so far, let me know in the chat. What is the biggest thing I've this we've had a conversation around today that you have taken away from today that you could go implement today or tomorrow or next week? Let me know in the chat. What landed here today? I'd love to hear what landed. Because I know some of you are sitting here right now thinking one of these things. My money feels a little bit like a mess. I'm in a lot of debt. My income isn't where I want to be. I don't know where to start. What do I prioritize first? I've made some financial decisions. So this comes up a lot for people. I've made some financial decisions in the past that I'm not proud of. So we can be embarrassed to work with somebody like me. Um, case you feel judged, let go of all of that. That is again your story. It's not supporting you. This is a safe place, and I very much operate from that. I love transparency. I show up in transparency, um, because the true work is when we're in our authenticity and we can go intimate and all the things. Okay. Um, I want to start, but I don't know the right order, the right move, for where I am right now. That can come up for people. I'm ready to stop waiting, but I need a clear plan about how I'm actually going to do this. But here's what I know. Your money does not have to be perfect to start. You can be clearing your debt and building wealth at the same time. Your past decisions don't get to create your future. Okay? They are just your starting point. What does a wealthy life look like to me? Huge. And really good to sit down with a journal and write yourself that question over and over again, because you really start to open up of what a wealthy life. Because when we start, you kind of get culture, TV influences, and then it kind of comes down to, well, actually, I want to just spend time with my family. I want to go to Florida to meet them, whatever it is, right? And you realize that that's actually what lights you up. So that's huge. My mindset, my relationship and money, also what does a wealthy life look? Yeah, it's huge, huge. And guys, you don't need a clean slate. You just need a strategy and the support. As I said earlier, financial freedom isn't created from everything being perfect. It's created when you decide you're done waiting. So you got to override your mindset and your relationship with money, because by taking the action, it brings up the triggers that you get to work through and moves you forward. If you wait till you're till like if you operate from, oh, I have to work on my relationship money before I do X, Y, and Z, it is another form of delaying. Okay? It's by getting into the action, does the stuff come up with the money that gets highlighted, and then you get to move forward because you got to do both. Okay? It's huge. Like imagine waking up knowing your money's handled. You know exactly where everything's going. The bills are covered, the savings are covered, the money's supporting the life you actually want. The investments are happening, the background noise, I need to sort this, is disappearing from you. That you have this peace of mind with money, the confidence, the feeling of finally being on top of it. That's where life looks like when your financial house is in order. So much of when I create wealth, it's about this piece. In fact, most of the time in the academy, we're working on um how you manage the money, because it's affecting your ability to create the wealth and freedom. Get your financial house in order is for men and women who are done waiting with money, who's ready to stop figuring this out on alone. I've taken a piece out of the academy. I've given you this incredible resource, and you get my time with it, which is not always going to be the case because these will be turned into digital products, okay, where you don't get my time. And this is a huge opportunity I'm sharing with you now. Who wants a system that finally works with support every step of the way? It's income stability, expansion, wealth. Um, there is an early bird for the getting the financial house in order. I'm going to talk about what this sprint is actually about. It is 197 to jump in. That early bird ends tomorrow at midnight. Okay. Where you get my time supporting you to do the right things with your money so that you're very well set up to live a life you love and create the wealth and freedom you desire. Or if you royalty comes in, you want to know how to do the right things, whatever that is for you. Okay. And I will put the link in the chat in one sec. I want to talk about it. After midnight tomorrow, the price goes up and it's not coming back down. It's 497 after that. Okay. This this sprint creates financial safety. And when we feel safe, we do the right things with our money. And then we can get into expansion and all the things. Okay. Inside Get Your Financial House in Order, it's about clarity. It's about having a reliable system to support you to live, as I said, to live the life you love and create the wealth and freedom. Removes the feeling of money being all over the place. Creates consistency and stability. Make sure your money is taking care of you. Okay. We get to look at it, right? A lot of people don't like, so no more guessing. Let your nervous system settle, gives you the confidence that your money is fully supporting you, sets the foundation for huge, sets the foundation for investing, for building the real wealth and freedom. Okay. It's not about restricting, it's about doing the right things with your money so you feel safe and secure and you know you're on the right track. When your money feels stable, your body feels stable, you feel safe, you feel expanded. Okay? So in the financial house, what we're doing over those 7 calls is getting a really good structure around your money. And you can come to me with this is going on, blah, 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 and we'll get it structured. Okay. It's a 7-week live coaching call. Happens every Thursday. There's a bite-sized training. We'll also have like power hour where you go and actually implement on the call. Clear, actionable steps, accountability threads. I love accountability. I hate when I work with somebody and they don't fully support me because what what really what really moves people is what happens when they're not on the call. What happens in between? What happens when you're left alone? And that's where the person needs you. Um, so this is very special in that it is a short burst sprint with me, with you, would I get to support you in between the calls and on the calls. Um, check-ins, my personal support for 7 weeks, and we have a community. And I love when we have a community. I love community. Personally love it myself because I thrive when I'm with others. Life's lonely enough on its own between all the things going on, family, kids, blah, 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 blah. So you want community when you're facing hard things like looking at your money. So many people love to avoid money. So we need to support you, right? Um, it is for you if you're ready to take ownership of your money and your financial future. You're done waiting for the perfect moment. I'm actually going to put the link in the chat now. If I have the link here, hold on there. I don't know if I have. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So the link I've put in the chat is the details of the financial house, but also you can go ahead and jump in. The payment link and all is there. So if you want to hop in, go there and let me know in the chat who's hopping in, right? If you're ready to take ownership for your money and your financial future, you're done waiting for the perfect moment because that is BS and it's a story and you need to stop because it's not supporting you. I'm ready to start with what you have. You want to stop living in financial uncertainty and start building real security with money. You're ready to set yourself up so you can build the wealth and investments going forward and what financial freedom is on your terms. You don't need a clean slate, you need a system, and the system is huge to you living a life you love. As I said earlier, you know, people come to me with a lot of fear around money, worried about their money, worried it's not going to provide for them all the things. This gives you a sense of security and trust in your finances and most importantly, in yourself. And that is huge. If you're ready to get jump onto your financial house in order, start building the financial life you deserve. It is 7 week sprint. There's an early bird price of 197, that's euros, by the way. That goes away midnight tomorrow. So if you want to jump in and you know you want to jump in, act on that now. Okay. After that, it goes up to 497. So if you want my time, if you want me, if you want a short little burst that's going to get your money in a really good place, then this is absolutely for you. Because this is where real wealth begins with a foundation you can trust. When you get the foundation in, um, it catapults everything else. It's huge. I love money management. I love all the parts of it. I love investing. I love the relationship with money because I love I love when somebody believes in themselves. And so when I approach any of these sprints, I'm very aware, we'll work on the money management, but I'm very aware of how are you showing up with the money, how are you showing up to the calls, and we'll be tweaking that too. Love Joyce that you're in. Congratulations. Absolutely delighted. Really look forward to working with you on this. I know it's going to be fantastic and I'm excited. I love that you're in, Joyce. So cool. Um, and what I'll do now is I'll open up. I know it's going to be so good. I am really excited. I love teaching this. So, what I'd love to do now is I'm gonna go back to gallery and answer any questions anybody has because we've got a few minutes because any questions you have, everybody else has as well. So let's do that. Let's support you. Yeah. Anybody got any questions? Um, Pick my brain. I'm here. Mitchell, Ramona, Togita, anybody got any questions? When do we start? We start on the 4th of June. And it is 3 p.m. BST, which you're in Eastern, aren't you, Joyce? So I'll tell you. 3 p.m. So it's 10 a.m. your time, which is quite nice. Yeah. Yeah. I love when calls work out for people and be at a nice time, daytime. Yeah, so that's perfect. You're very welcome, Ramona. This aids Greta. What does that mean, Ramona? Perfect. Oh, this is great. Got you. You're very welcome, Ramona. Um, I was like, what's she talking about? Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. I know Ramona, we've been chatting, and I know Togita, we were chatting before the masterclass. And Mitchell, have you got any questions? Let me know. Anything you'd love to share? After you go ahead. Ramona, great to see you on video. Are you working right now? Oh, you're eating your lunch? Yeah. I love it. Perfect. I'm gonna have lunch after this. Okay, take care, everybody. Joyce, welcome on board. Absolutely delighted, and I really can't wait to do this with you. It's gonna be really, really good. And I love that you've royalties coming in. Uh, isn't it lovely when money comes in from something you've created that can give you money over and over again? It's huge. It's huge. I was actually listening, Joyce, to a lady the other day, and she goes, "Oh, 10,000's coming in this month from my books." Like it's lovely, and I always admire Brian Tracy. He wrote like I don't know how many books, and it's a source of income. So like, yeah, I love it. And just to say this to wrap up, I'm actually speaking to people right now about writing my own book, and I'm very excited about again royalties, and it's a business card, so it's huge. And I really want to support women with independence. So, really, really brilliant. All right, take care, everybody, and
Thank
I will
you.
chat to you soon. All right, take care. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you. Bye.